I have to show this. I've never done this before, but I've never had such a storm on the way. This is a storm. Wow. Most of the storms I've gotten recently were maybe this big, or maybe this big. Just this little section. I have never seen this much of a storm. This, I don't know if the colors are showing up right because of the contrast. Let me see if I can move this. Hold on a minute. This is going to be a lot of rain. I'm going to have to hurry up and get over to the chickens and go out and pump all the water I can into their tank and fill up other tanks, because I have a feeling this is big. This is really huge. All the little storms we've got, like I said, have been nothing. Maybe like little things like this little bit right here. Nothing compared to what's coming. Wow, I've seen rain before, but this is going to be huge. So, it's going to be an early start today. I've got 30 minutes before the big one comes. I got to hurry up and transfer water into different tanks, because I have a feeling this is going to end the drought. I have attempted to make a bit of a faucet here. I used some old duct tape that I had laying around. It's leaky at best, and I've run this garden hose that I just picked up over to the chicken coop, and I taped it here, also leaky, and it's running in, not very fast, but it's running in there. So I think I might wrap that a little bit with electrical tape, which is a more leak-proof type thing. I'll wrap it where it's leaking, and hopefully fill up this tank before the rain really starts pounding. That's I think, what is it, 30, that's a 30-gallon tank, and that'll last the chickens for 15 days if I fill that up. Baby cat's out there with the chickens for now, enjoying the only bit of good weather she's going to get today. She feels abandoned right now. Baby cat, how you doing? I don't know what she's got onto there. Well, anyway, so this is filling up really slowly, but it's going. I'm probably losing more through leaking than I'm getting in the tank, but I'll see if that works. See, the problem is, well, this is something I could fix. I don't have the adapter to connect a dead piece of a hose to a solid end, and I don't want to cut off the good end on that. That doesn't bother me so much. This end over here, following the hose along. This end over here now, on the other hand, I don't have a way to hook this up without taking off this whole valve off the tank, because this part that connects to the tank itself is non-standard. Now, somebody sent me, I think it was Goliath Man, if I remember right, sent me the end that goes on here onto this, which is this piece. Actually, this is the non-standard piece, but I have to take this off to replace it with a standard piece, and then I can hook up the hose attachments that I have. So for now, I've taped it. It's, again, quite leaky, so I'm going to see if I can seal it off a little bit better. But one day I have to empty this tank and take off this end, and then I can put it on the standard end, and I'll have really nice flowing water here. But all summer I've been trying to figure out a way to do this, and I've been thinking about tape. So let's see how it goes, see if I can pump that up a little bit. Now I'm down to 200 gallons, from 275 down to 200 gallons. So we had 4 or 5 days with no rain, and I used all of that simply for hand washing and watering plants and chickens, because the sun was intense and it was killing the plants. Pretty crazy after all the rain we had continuously that I had to water the plants just from a few days with no rain. But the ground here drains well, unfortunately. Well, good and bad. Yeah, so I'm going to try to tape that up a little bit better. The rain is supposed to be hitting any minute now. Here's a non-electrical use for electrical tape. No drips. This is something I learned one day by pure chance. I was fishing long ago with inflatable boats on Lake Huron, one of the Great Lakes. And my friend suddenly shouted, "I got one!" And he jerked his line up and the hook sunk into his inflatable boat. These were little two-man boats. And we were out in deep into the bay of the Saginaw Bay. And he started sinking, of course. And by some weird odd chance, I happen to have a roll of electrical tape in my tackle box, which is not normal for fishing. And I don't know why I had it, but I am so happy to this day that I had a roll of electrical tape in my fishing box, because it was all I had available for an emergency patch-up on his raft. And what we did, it was awkward, but he leaned back to one side, pulling up on his raft to pull the hole out of the water far enough, and I used a rag, which I always had with me, to wipe the spot dry, and put a simple piece of electrical tape over the hole, and we continued fishing all day. That's why I just thought of electrical tape. Well, I've been thinking about doing this for a while now, and with the rain impending and me having been awake at unusual early hours anyway, so I had it out here, the off-grid project, to do this, particularly for this. So it looks like there might be a pinhole leak starting right here, but I didn't have a lot of tape. Yeah, it's starting a little pinhole leak, but still, look at that. That's a lot of pressure. That's 200 gallons of water pressure on this right here. That's a non-electrical roll for electrical tape for emergency purposes, something I learned by chance one day. And over here on the other end, I've taped off the leak over here. No leaks, no drips. So I'm going to let that water fill up. That is, out of 30 gallons, about 10 gallons of water in there now. You can see the level right here. Maybe 10 gallons. Maybe a little less. But yeah, I'm going to fill this up. And then, when it's filled, then I'll have 30 extra gallons of water over here. While I'm at it, I might just start filling up some other tanks. Depends on how much rain we get. We'll see how it goes. But I figure I'll top off that big tank today. Hopefully. If we get the 2 to 4 inches an hour that they're saying we're going to get. Right now, instead of raining, as my weather report says it should be doing right this minute, it actually cleared up. Not exactly rain right now. Sort of odd. Yeah, it says it's raining right this minute. Although I do have to say that the weather in town is always a little bit different than the weather right here. So it could be raining in town. That mountain affects me a lot here. But the big one's coming, I'm pretty sure it is. For the first time ever, I'm excited about rain. Because, look at this, burned out. Of course, I'm not excited about the grass growing, but the garden isn't looking good either. So, yeah, we need it. And here's an interesting thing about the weather here. You'll notice where the arrow is. Watch the weather pattern, how there's a wall that the rain is going around. It's almost as if it's held back. We haven't gotten a drop yet, although just miles away they're getting pounded. So if you notice that and pay attention to that, see that there's like a wall. The storm is advancing, but it is almost pushed back by a wall right at the dot at the end of that arrowhead. And that's a very common pattern I've seen here. That's why the weather right here is quite weird. You can see that hole. There's this opening here, right here, where the weather is pushed around. I believe that's the mountain range right there, because you can see right here that the rain is held back and it dissipates right along this edge all the time. I find it quite interesting to watch because every single storm we've had this year, you can see the dark reds and the bad hail and rain and strong damaging winds. I haven't gotten any this year, although we keep getting severe warnings. That wall, it always dissipates right here and goes around me. It's really weird. Now on the other hand, quite often there's rain on the other side of this wall. It just sort of hangs and lingers, and that's another pattern I see very often. So it's one or the other quite often, but creates a strange weather pattern right there. I just thought I'd share that. It might help explain some of the things I've said where other people haven't seen it all the time. It's good to see it graphically like that. Well, for all the hype and the warnings and the fear and the terror they instilled in our hearts of the dangers of this storm, I'm not very highly impressed. This is one I was actually hoping for. The ground is still dry. It's not even wet. This is where it usually floods through on a normal rain. 2 hours into the storm, just a light, gentle misting. Oh well, my chickens got water for the next 15 days anyway. That's a bonus. I tried to run water into the RV through, well, I tried to run it like that, and it wouldn't go, because once it goes up higher, it didn't have enough pressure to feed. And then I tried using an RV pump, but because it's going up and it didn't have pressure to feed, I couldn't get it to suck the water in, and because it's raining, well, it was supposed to be raining, I didn't want to put the water pump outside in the weather. So I do have a system that's going to work now, and that duct tape seal is actually holding over here. So there's no leaks. I had that on actually all morning, but it just wasn't running into my RV. So what I'll do is back over here later on today, what I'll do is I'm going to run this line on the ground after the misting stops. I'll put the water pump out here and have it pump in, but I'll need an extension hose on there. I'm using a lot of electrical tape, but it sure is working. Anyway, I'll get water in the RV as well today. Well, I don't know if you're going to see anything. I'm walking up here with my headlamp on. All you can see is my truck and whatever I'm shining the light on. I've got my truck here. It's like 8:30 in the evening. I just got home, and I've got a tarp over the bed of the truck. Right? And let me see. There you go. I think you can see. I have here, look at that, lumber. It's a lot more than what you can see here. These are the 12-footers sticking out, and I've got the 10-footers up in there. So I've got all the lumber to put up the walls and the roof of my house. There it is. The day has come. There it is. I have my framer friend is going to be helping out this week. Of course, we have a lot of severe rain right now, so that's why I've got this tarped up, and I've got it on a slope so that the rain will run off the truck bed and downhill and off. So tomorrow is supposed to rain still, but if not, in between rain blasts or whatever you want to call it, I can start pre-cutting the wood for the walls. So exciting times. The day has come.